A future without drivers feels like it's right around the corner. But getting here, man, it's been anything but a straight line. So let's dive into this incredible story of ambition, major breakthroughs, and some very hard-learned lessons. So, when you think of self-driving cars, you probably picture Silicon Valley, right? But what if I told you the dream is almost as old as the car itself? Yeah, we're talking about nearly 100 years of people imagining this, and the engineers trying to build it. And it all started with these early dreamers. I mean, get this. Back in 1925, a guy named Francis Udina drove his American Wonder through Manhattan using remote control. Can you imagine? People were freaking out seeing a car with no one in the driver's seat. Fast forward to 1956, and you've got General Motors promising us autonomous highways by the 70s. Okay, so their timing was a little optimistic, but that core vision of a stress-free commute, that's exactly what companies like Waymo and Tesla are chasing right now. But why? Why this 100-year-long obsession with getting the human out of the driver's seat? Well, a huge part of the answer comes down to this one single number, a truly staggering 94%. That's how many traffic accidents are caused by us, by human error. And really, the promise here is so much bigger than just a statistic. Just think about it for a second. We could eliminate the vast majority of driving deaths just by taking human error out of the equation. And it's not just about safety. Think about all that time we'd get back for work, for relaxing, for anything. Plus, we could open up mobility to literally everyone, whether they can drive or not. That's the huge goal that's fueling this entire industry. Okay, so to make any of that a reality, the dream had to move out of those cool promotional videos and into the actual research labs. So let's take a look at those foundational decades, the ones where the real science started to come together. A perfect example is Carnegie Mellon's NAVLAB series. It really shows you just how fast things were progressing. I mean, in 1986, NAVLAB 1 was cruising along at about 30 kilometers per hour. Just 4 years later, NAVLAB 2 was hitting highway speeds. And then came 1996, when they did their famous No Hands Across America tour. They drove almost 5,000 kilometers, with the car doing over 98% of the work. That was just an incredible achievement for the time. And, Carnegie Mellon wasn't working in a vacuum. Over in Germany, a team at the University of Munich was making these huge strides in computer vision. They even completed a 1,600-kilometer trip in real live traffic. Meanwhile, back in the US, UC Berkeley's PATH project was proving the concept of platooning. That's basically getting cars to drive super close together, like a convoy, to save fuel. And in doing that, they helped establish radar and vehicle-to-vehicle communication as totally essential technologies for the future. So all this steady academic progress was great, really foundational stuff. But the field needed a kick, something to really shift things in high gear. And that something was a series of challenges from DARPA, the US military's advanced research agency. So the first DARPA Grand Challenge kicked off in 2004. The goal? Build a car that could drive 142 miles through the desert all by itself. No remote control, nothing. And the results? Well, the best car, one from Carnegie Mellon actually, only made it 7 miles before conking out. 7! On the surface, it looked like a total failure. But here's where it gets crazy. Just 1 year later, they did it again. Same course. And this time, 5 different teams successfully completed the entire 142-mile journey. 5. The jump in what these cars could do in just a single year was absolutely astronomical. And that was the watershed moment. You had this intense competition, this really clear goal, and it just created a pressure cooker for innovation. The DARPA challenges proved to everyone that full autonomy wasn't just some sci-fi fantasy anymore. Nope, it was an engineering problem, and one that could actually be solved. The race was officially on. Tech giants like Google saw what was happening and immediately started scooping up all the top minds from these university teams. But going from a controlled desert course to the messy, totally unpredictable world of public roads, well, that brought a series of very sobering and, in some cases, truly tragic reality checks. 2 high-profile accidents in particular really taught the industry some critical lessons. First, the 2016 Tesla crash. In that case, the system's camera and its radar both failed to pick up a white truck against a bright sky. That was a hardware and sensor failure. Then you have the 2018 Uber crash. Now this one was different. The sensors did see the pedestrian, but the software failed to classify her correctly in time to react. In both cases, though, there was another crucial factor: a human supervisor who had grown way too comfortable and wasn't paying attention. And these tragedies, they hammered home a really powerful lesson. These systems that require a human to be paying attention, ready to jump in at a moment's notice, they're just fundamentally flawed. Why? Because human attention wanders. It's what we do. The industry realized that the only truly safe system is one that takes that unreliable variable, the human, out of the loop entirely. It forced a massive shift away from human monitoring and towards fully automated systems. So this realization, it forced a major pivot in strategy. I mean, if you can't rely on a regular car owner to be the perfect always-on backup driver, well, then you need a completely different model. And that's where the focus really shifted. Instead of trying to sell partially autonomous cars to you and me, the industry started moving toward fully autonomous robo-taxi fleets. Now, this wasn't just a business decision, it was a direct response to that safety problem. In the robotaxi model, the company, not the individual, owns, operates, and maintains the whole fleet. So you're not a supervisor anymore, you're just a passenger. And that ensures the systems are always working exactly as they should, completely removing that unreliable human monitoring factor from the equation. And here's the thing, despite those major setbacks, progress kept accelerating. By the end of 2018, Waymo alone had already logged over 10 million miles of autonomous driving on public roads. Think about that. Every single one of those miles is more data, more learning. It's another step toward making these systems even safer and more reliable than any human driver could ever hope to be. So here we are. After a century of dreaming and decades of really, really hard work, we are right on the cusp of a mobility revolution. I mean, this journey has taken us from these quirky, remote-controlled curiosities, all the way through academic labs and intense desert races, to these incredible AI-powered fleets that are learning from millions of real-world miles. It's been a long road, but it's a path that's been defined by this relentless pursuit of a safer world. And so the real question now is, what role are we going to play in this new driverless future?